So my warm greetings to all the people present on the dais, and thank you so much for that generous introduction. Namaskar to everyone present there and everyone who is attending this conference online. Before beginning with anything else, I just would like to draw your attention to one specific detail. The detail might appear very small, a very minute information, but it matters a lot. Around 6.8% of the world population, which is approximately 685 million people, are facing poverty. This data has been given by World Bank. Poverty, the biggest reason behind all sorts of crimes. This is something which we all know. There are so many reasons for this poverty. People are suffering. We all know that around us there are so many people who are suffering in different ways. Due to drought, hundreds of children in Africa are in the clutches of malnutrition. Floods that destroy thousands of lives. Earthquakes and hurricanes, wildlife, fires and pandemic. We have a long list of global problems. Humanity is suffering, and many problems are raised by us only. Like one is global warming, while the other is religious and cultural clashes. Humanity is suffering not only because of natural calamities, humanity is suffering because of this man-made problem, that is religious and cultural clashes. As humans, we could avoid some man-made problems at least, if not natural calamities. Misconception and misunderstanding about one another's religion are such issues that can be handled and resolved just by some small efforts. We can work and remove those inequalities and create a much happier place for humanity to live and prosper. For removing these misconceptions about different religions, we need interfaith dialogue. Interfaith dialogue or discussion is a means to maintain the harmony in the society. We all are aware of this thing. We all are aware of this fact, this reality, that interfaith dialogue is a means to maintain the harmony in the society. It had helped in reducing religious, ethnic, and cultural conflicts. But what is this dialogue? What does it mean? Dialogue not only refers to conversation among people of different faiths, but it also refers to educating through interaction and understanding. Therefore, this interfaith dialogue should take place at various levels, at different levels. Let's say, it should take place on individual level, it should take place at national level, and also at international level. Let's say, when we work at some place, for example, if I talk about myself, I work in a university. There are so many people who are working in my university, and we all belong to different faiths. We come from different religious backgrounds, so we come from different cultural backgrounds. So how do we work together? Because we all are supposed to work together to run an organization smoothly. Smooth functioning of any institution depends upon the employees. So we are required to work together, and we are required to understand each other's working style. Similarly, at the same workplace, we are supposed to understand each other's religious beliefs, each other's faiths, and culture also. When people at the same workplace could discuss about their religion and understand each other's religion, similarly, different nations, they could come at a shared platform and discuss the global issues caused by religious hostility. We all are aware of the fact that in the present time there are so many issues that have been caused globally because of the religious hostility. Here, we need interreligious dialogue. Interreligious dialogue is required not only to understand each other but also to safeguard human rights, to safeguard humanity. Let's talk about our own nation, India. India is a land of different religions, cultures, and traditions. We have been taught these things since childhood. As soon as we reach our middle school, and when we start this essay writing thing, part of English language teaching, most of the schools, or I must say all the schools, teach students essay writing. And one of the topics is patriotism. Another topic is writing about one's own nation. And we write about India. And most of the essays that students write, those essays begin with this sentence: India is a land of different religions, cultures, and traditions. So it is something, this simple sentence which has been taught to us since childhood. Why do we forget this sentence when we grow up? It is our land where different religions, different cultures, and different traditions live and flourish. The history of the subcontinent is also full of stories of love and affection between different people, between different religions. We have so many stories where Muslims and Sikhs building temples and people of various religions celebrating festivals together. I must say, in the last thousands of years, Jainism, Buddhism, Sikhism, Islam, Christianity, and many other religions have flourished here in India. This religious harmony is the biggest strength of our nation. It is a treasure which makes the nation attractive as well as strong. And the most important thing, the Constitution of India. Constitution of India promotes religious harmony and tolerance. It allows us to choose and practice any religion. When we are allowed to choose and practice any religion, it automatically means that others are also allowed to choose and practice any religion. So therefore, we should develop an understanding for each other. We should try to be tolerant towards each other. So when we start following religious teachings, we consider all the humans are brothers and sisters. This is also something which we have been taught since childhood. The message of brotherhood and humanity has been taught to us since childhood. When we look back to our history and tradition, we learn to live peacefully with other communities. We all worship God. One God is worshipped with different names. God is recognized and worshipped in many ways, but He is the one, the Creator, the Omnipresent, and the Almighty. So, I have just a few examples to prove, or you can say just to highlight, religious harmony that has existed in our nation since the beginning. Let's say the very first example we can say, and we can talk about Dargah, shrine. Ajmer Sharif Dargah, which is visited by the people of all faiths, and that is known to everyone. Ajmer Sharif Dargah is the shrine of Hazrat Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, one of the revered religious figures. He was a saint. Islamic Sufi saints had always shared the message of love and unity. Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti promoted the love of God. He had always discouraged any sort of discrimination, specifically discrimination on the basis of religion. This is the reason that his dargah is visited by the people of all faiths. So since medieval times, Muslims and Hindus and people from different religions, they have been visiting Ajmer Sharif and praying for their well-being. And it is also said, it is believed that whatever you wish there, all their wishes get fulfilled after visiting that dargah. So one such example of religious harmony in our nation is Sufism. Sufism has been one of the oldest traditions in India. Ever since its advent, around thousands years ago, it has promoted religious harmony. In the 10th and the 11th century, Sufism became prominent. Sufi saints gave the message of divine love and cosmic harmony, and their age-old stay in India resulted in assimilation into Indian culture. So, sliding from Sufism, another example that we find of religious harmony is in Bhakti movement. So the message of social harmony got mixed with the Bhakti movement. Some of their theological notions got inspired by the Hindu devotional system also. So when we talk about Bhakti movement, we have different names, like we have Kabir Das, Raidas, Rahim. So this was a movement where they promoted Hindu-Muslim harmony, where they had brought so many things, so many teachings from different religions, and then presented those just to promote religious harmony in the society. Another such example we can find in the late 19th century, that is Sai Baba. To promote religious harmony, he had combined the celebration of Hindu festival of Ram Navami and the Muslim celebration of Urs. Urs is a celebration of birth anniversary of Sufi saints, which is celebrated around their shrine. So the devotees of Sai Baba are from all religions. Hindus believe in Sai Baba, Muslims also believe in him, and people from different communities, different religions, they also believe in him. So, these are just a few examples from the history of our own nation. Another such example can be Mughal Emperor Akbar. He was a seeker of religious harmony. Through that effort, the tradition of reached its zenith. To promote the idea of interfaith dialogue, Emperor Akbar institutionalized it and organized various discussions among the leaders of different religions. So we can say that the reign of Akbar was the time period when these interfaith dialogues, these interfaith discussions had started formally. So such discussions were organized to reach a mutual level of understanding and unity. During his kingdom, during his reign, the course of interfaith discussion was transformed into a public movement, which we need in the present era also. Interfaith harmony can be built not only by organizing some interfaith dialogues at one specific level, just by involving certain specific people, but it should be transformed into a public movement where people from all backgrounds, people from all the areas, all the fields may come forward and share their own views about the need for the interfaith dialogue. They can also come forward to share their own experiences. So while talking about Akbar, there is another name from Mughal era only, Mughal Prince Dara Shikoh. He carried his grandfather's legacy forward. His concept of religious harmony was based on his personal experiences because he had studied and translated many Hindu scriptures and they had also written some books. I would fail in performing my duty here if, while talking about interfaith harmony, I would not mention the efforts of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, the founder of Aligarh Muslim University. In the 19th century, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan came forward to support the idea of interfaith understanding. He said that interfaith understanding plays an important role in nurturing the fundamental ethos of India and protecting the legacy of Indian tradition. He promoted Muslim-Christian dialogue by writing an introduction to the Bible, as well as translating some portion of the Bible into Urdu. He believed in equality and unity. Sir Syed had considered Hindus and Muslims as two eyes of the nation. He had always propagated the message of unity and harmony. Now, in this present era, it is the duty of the younger generation to carry forward the age-old tradition of interfaith harmony. This important responsibility. So, let not the hardships of saints and sages of our nation towards promoting religious harmony be lost in bigotry and irrational doctrines. God has created us all for a purpose. We should understand our purpose. We should understand why are we here. God wants His creations to live together happily and peacefully. So respecting our thoughts and beliefs is important, but revering others' thoughts and beliefs is more important. When one respects all the faiths in the world, one becomes more receptive to life. We start understanding life. We start not only living, but fulfilling our purpose, which God has assigned to us, the purpose of life. So, everyone is free to explore and adopt a belief or faith. But while following our faith freely, we should be respectful and tolerant towards others as well. Here I am remembering one of the stories which my father used to narrate when I was a child. He used to say that Islam teaches tolerance. We should be tolerant towards each other. We should understand each other. So I would like to share that short story with you. It's one small anecdote which is related to the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. It goes like that. Prophet Muhammad, he used to go to a mosque for praying, and he used to take one specific route to that mosque, from his house to that mosque. And on that road, there lived a woman who used to clean her house, broom it, dust it, collect all the garbage and dust, and she used to throw that garbage on the Prophet. The Prophet never complained, he never said anything to that woman. Instead, he just dusted his clothes, his dress, smiled and walked away. This was like a regular practice done by that woman. She used to do this on daily basis. One day, when the Prophet was passing by from that same road, he noticed that old woman was not there. Next day again, he did not find that old woman there. So, he inquired about that. He asked people who were living in that same place. So, then the Prophet came to know that old woman was very sick. She has been suffering for some days. He visited her he cleaned his house, cooked a meal for her, served her, looked after her until she got well. He kept on visiting her on daily basis, cooking for her and serving her. The woman, when she was totally fine, she cried a lot, asked for forgiveness. So, this small story, the lesson of tolerance. Complaining instead of answering the anger with anger, answering the wrongdoings of other people with wrongdoings. We should always be compassionate towards them. We should always try to understand the reason behind that anger. This is what we learned from this story. We should always try to understand the reason behind that anger. We should always try to be nice towards those people. This is what actually means. We should be considerate of other people as well. Because good deeds always bring good results. This is what we have been taught since the beginning. And the lesson of being compassionate, being considerate towards people is a very important lesson which every religion teaches us. It's not a lesson that has been given by one specific religion. No. All the religions talk about this thing. All the religions tell us to love each other. All the religions tell us to be nice, to be kind towards each other. Because we are humans. These are the traits that make us human. Be kind, be compassionate, be understanding, be harmonious, be peaceful. These are the traits that differentiate us from animals. That's why we are humans, because we have brain to understand. So when we have brain to understand, we should be rational. We should understand each other. Here I am remembering one more thing that we were taught when we were in school. Again, I learned this from my school. I have studied in a Christian missionary, a convent. So our sisters used to say, love thy neighbor, a teaching that we have got from Christianity. But I believe that this is the teaching that comes from each and every religion, because Islam also talks about loving thy neighbor. So love thy neighbor. As kids, as children, we believed neighbor means the person who lives just next to our house. But as we grow up, we understand it is not only the person who lives next to our house, but this concept of loving thy neighbor applies on each and every person who is around us. That's why Islam says, a man is not a believer who fills his stomach while his neighbor is hungry. If you eat and enjoy and are very happy and proud of your good life, your luxurious life, and there is a person who is living next to your house, or if there is a person who is living in that same society who is hungry, then it's your responsibility. Because God has created us all with some purpose. He has given us all a responsibility of being human towards each other, being compassionate towards each other. I would finish with just one small thing, that religion. What does religion mean? To some people, religion means praying 5 times a day. To some people, religion means going to temple. To some people, religion may mean that Sunday prayer in the church. But I, as a human, I don't say that I'm an expert in this field, or I never say that I'm an expert in anything. I believe that I am a learner, because learning is a continuous phase which goes on till we are alive. But as a human, as an individual, I believe that prayer is only one section of religion. There are other sections as well. Being kind, being compassionate, affection, understanding, behavior, good behavior is another section of our religion. Mutual trust, understanding is another section of our religion. There are so many sections in every religion, and we are supposed to understand those sections so that we can be better human and we can understand each other. So thus we can say that religious harmony is the need of the hour. That is the thing that we all need in the present scenario. Thank you so much for listening to me so patiently. And thank you so much to the organizers for inviting me and allowing me to share my views about this topic.